This is the Sons of Mort Thraken. I'm Jay.
I'm M.
I'm D.
And we are here discussing the big end of show prediction. How will Game of Thrones end? And it's necessary to do some background for this. So I think in the context of what's going on, we need to look at what George R.R. Martin has said. One of the things he has criticized about The Lord of the Rings is this great war of good and evil and sort of these one-dimensional characters with all good on one side, all pure evil on the other. And what we've seen through his storytelling is the vast majority of his characters, even the ones that are bad, are multifaceted. Cersei, even though she's quite bad, there's a background and there's a story to how she became who she is. Even Ramsay, a large part of him being sick and twisted was he had a father who was a piece of shit.
He was all bad.
And he was mostly bad, but he was shaped
But
from
Theon
something.
had it coming, too. Nobody had a problem with what he did to Theon. I was glad he did that to Theon. Theon betrayed the Starks. It was a good thing that he did that to Theon.
Okay, you guys are interrupting the theory. So the setup of the theory is George R.R. Martin also was a conscientious objector to the Vietnam War. He's not one who glorifies war, and it won't end in a giant battle of all of the living versus all of the dead.
With the living triumphing at the end.
Yeah, that there's more to it than that, and that I think we can see from episode 4, the loot train battle, when Daenerys comes in with those dragons and just turns people to ash, that was horrific. I mean, the way they shot that, showing the Lannister men burning.
Watching Tyrion walk through the remnants and how hard that was for him to see.
Yeah, it's definitely war is horrible. So the next part of the equation is that the White Walkers aren't going to be so simple as just pure evil incarnate coming down to kill everyone. We haven't heard from their side who they are, what they want. We don't know. What we do know is that in the last event of White Walkers coming down, there was some sort of end with the last hero going in and stopping this war where the Long Night came and the White Walkers were out destroying everyone and riding on giant spiders and all of those things. We also don't know where the wall came from. So there are multiple different theories, and I want to give some credit to a very good video on the White Walkers by Alt-Shift-X, talking about some of their goals, some of what their background is, what their history is, what we know. But at the end of the day, George R.R. Martin is not going to make them just all evil, and we know that there was a previous time where they went away. They went into the lands of always winter. They didn't come back. So how is that going to be solved again? The prophecy is Azor Ahai, or the prince that was promised, will come and will end the long night or win the war for the dawn. What we also know, and I'm going to transition here, is Crastor is sacrificing his sons to the White Walkers. So we have this little piece of information that shows us the White Walkers take Crastor's sons to the Night King. The Night King turns them into White Walkers. And what does Crastor get in return for it?
Left alone.
He gets left alone. Well, none of the White Walkers come and kill his people. They just take his children. So, all right, that sounded wrong.
He's okay with it, though.
He's got an agreement that
Right.
that
But I
Crastor.
think that's the important bit, is that it does introduce the concept that there can be an accord between the White Walkers and the living.
And Alt-Shift-X theorizes that it's probably the White Walkers actually in this prior peace agreement that built the wall. And it was a zone of separation between the living and the dead, or the White Walkers. So Crastor, north of the wall, has a peace agreement. My theory is we're only shown that information about Crastor for one reason, to show that there can be a peace agreement, and it has to do with offering a human or humans to accomplish that, which is where my theory of Jon and Daenerys will hook up. They will have a child. That child will be the prince which was promised, and Jon, who is the same person who made peace between the wildlings and the Night's Watch and the rest of the people south of the wall, will make a peace agreement with the White Walkers, and to seal that agreement, he will give his son, his child with Daenerys, to the White Walkers as the token of that peace, and that's what will bring about the end of the war.
So what do the White Walkers get other than another baby? I mean, what are they getting out of this? Why would it be so important to them that they're willing to end the war?
So, good question. What do we know about magic in Westeros? We know that King's blood is special and is unique. We know from the episodes with Gendry early on that just sucking his blood with leeches and throwing it on the fire, they could make things happen that would not otherwise happen. Jon Snow has King's blood. He is Targaryen. He is Stark, who Starks traditionally were kings of the North as well. He's been declared king of the North, and he's also likely the most, has the best claim to the Iron Throne. In addition to that, Daenerys has King's blood. So their child would make for a uniquely...
Supremely royal.
Yeah, supremely royal, supremely magical being. And we also know from what we've seen, the Night King is different than the other White Walkers. The Night King has those psychic abilities. The Night King has the power to see Bran when the ravens are flying over and
We don't know that he's different. He's just the only one we've seen do that. We can theorize.
We know he looks different slightly, and he seems to be the only one making contact with Bran through these psychic abilities. So
this child will be so powerful. They're willing to take that and aggression.
This child will be so powerful that it could either be an apprentice or a replacement for the Night King. It would be something unique that they need. They're turning Crastor's sons into White Walkers. This would be something better than disgusting, child molesting, daughter raping Crastor. This would be royalty for White Walkers.
So I like this theory, although I still maintain that Jon and Daenerys are not going to get together. So I subscribe to this theory, but I think it's going to be Jaime and Cersei's baby that's offered up in sacrifice. It has all the same qualities. It has the king's blood, but also I don't think that the writers of this show are going to, well, we said this before, they're not going to reward incest. They're not going to play that relationship up as, I don't know how to put this exactly. That's not going to be the pinnacle of this show. Jon and Daenerys are both very liked characters. They're not going to be having an incestuous baby that's going to end this war. I think it's going to be Cersei and Jaime.
You're going to be disappointed then. But Cersei and Jaime's baby would not have King's blood because...
She is on the throne right now.
But Jaime and her would not have a legitimate child. And does she have Queen's blood? I guess, maybe. I don't know that makes a king, but...
That's true. They've only ever
up for
called it
debate.
King's blood, haven't they? My problem with this theory in general is the nature of appeasement. And I think this sounds a lot like appeasement, where you give this, no, go ahead, you can have this. No, you can have that. That's okay. Because it doesn't sound like a peace treaty. It sounds like appeasement. It sounds like, no, you can do that, or if it's that important, or if it's that powerful, doesn't it represent a risk to you to give them this supremely powerful, supremely royal child? I have a different theory as to the fate of Jaime and Cersei's child, which we'll get into later. But I have a problem because I don't think George R.R. Martin thinks that appeasement is good, just as I don't believe he thinks that war is good. So I don't think it's going to end with a baby being offered.
I think when you sue for peace or when you go to war, you're looking at sacrifice. And with war, you're sacrificing hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of sons, brothers, fathers. You are sacrificing all of those people. And that's what's horrible about war. And sometimes it's needless, and sometimes it can be solved in easier ways. Whether it's suing for peace or whether it's war, there's going to be sacrifice. And the part of this that will make it difficult is maybe it ruins Jon and Daenerys' relationship. Maybe it breaks Jon. Maybe it breaks Daenerys. If this were to happen, and it's horrible, and anyone could have sympathy with what it would be like to sacrifice a child. But the difference is Jon is noble, and rather than sacrifice everyone else's sons and daughters for his war to win battle in the traditional way it's been fought for so long, he's going to sacrifice his own, and it's going to be hard for him.
Another problem that I have with it is how is this going to be arranged? If it's going to be arranged by anyone, it's going to be arranged by Bran, because he's about the only one with those type of powers, but they've been trying to kill him ever since Bran was around.
Who's been trying to kill him?
The White Walkers.
You don't know that.
With the massive onslaught of the undead where they murdered Hodor.
Hold the door!
Hold the door, hold the door. Is they've been on a murderous attempt to find Bran, track Bran down, thwart him down. If they had any interest in peace or any possibility of peace, they would have been inviting Bran in, not cutting Bran out.
Maybe they don't see this coming. Their whole goal at this point may be complete world domination, and then this opportunity
This
rises.
is a trapdoor solution.
Well,
Maybe.
I don't know that we know what is their goal. What are they trying to do other than, to them, from their perspective, everyone that has been living south of the wall could be Nazi Germany trying to invade their territory, and they told them a long time ago, stay out, and they're coming in, and they feel like all of these people that were supposed to stay south have been up here screwing around doing things they were not supposed to based on a 10,000-year-old treaty. So their goal might just be, you move in on us, we're going to attack you and send you away. And they wouldn't have an army of the dead, mind you, if there weren't wildlings up north for them to kill and reincarnate. They only have that giant army of the dead because there have been a whole bunch of men that have been breaking the treaty and dying.
Good point.
So
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
A heady theory.
it is a theory that we'll have to follow up on after season 8. We are Sons of Mort Thraken. If you like this video, please leave a comment below. Tell us if you agree with us. Tell us if you think this is complete tinfoil hat craziness. And subscribe below.
Wiener, 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 one wiener next to another wiener, wiener, two wieners alongside yet another wiener, tangle soft wiener, nice and soft, fluffy, lolly rags, wiener, fluffy wiener, fluffy wiener.